Hey guys, welcome back. It is the final pairing in the round of 8 for Pokemon Perfect's ADV Championship in good old 2020. What a great year. However, we do have a Brazilian pairing here. These guys definitely know each other. They are countrymen. We have a Hero's Destiny, really nice guy that I've known for a number of years. We were on SPL Tigers together. I also bought him in POCL. I don't even know. 3 or 4 years ago. It's been a while, but we were teammates there, and that went pretty well. And then on the top, even though this is some weird alt, I don't know what that's supposed to be. It looks like just a keyboard smash, but hop on up, bruh. Hop on up at the da. Yeah, that's what his name is. That's Kael. You guys know him, Kael Pora. He played in Kalos Invitational Play-ins. He's been playing Pokemon longer than I have, which is rare. I mean, I don't know about like Pokemon at all. I've been playing legit since the RBY cartridges came out. I meant competitive Pokemon. He's an older player, and he's around my age too. Kale's been around a long time. So like I said, these dudes know each other. I have no idea if that's going to play into what they bring or whatever, but there's definitely an element of familiarity here. However, one of them is out, one of them will continue. You guys know how these tours work. And the winner here is going to be against Bush Tush in the round of 4. So let's get to it. Hero's Destiny bottom side, Kael top side, Hariyama lead, which has picked up a lot of steam and popularity recently against a Zapdos lead, but it does not go well for AHD in the early turns. He's going to be paralyzed and then fully paralyzed twice in a row thanks to the immediate turn 1 Thunder Wave, which Kael seems to be spamming. Heal Bell Celebi is going to undo both pairs, but there was some Thunderbolt damage done to the Hari. And yet another Thunder Wave coming, but Leech Seed will connect despite the imperfect accuracy and the full power possibility. We end up with Celebi on Celebi. That's hidden power. I mean, grass, right? That's what makes sense to me. Salamence comes in, and Calm Mind. This might not be an offensive Salamence. This might be a very defensive team. Yeah, I'm not surprised to see Toxic there. I mean, when you have Hari and then Heal Bell Celebi, it screams defense. I immediately thought when I saw the Mence that it would be a Wish Mence or some kind of defensive Mence, and it does in fact look that way. He goes for Toxic, which is a very telltale sign that it's almost certainly some kind of Wish Mence. And we are looking at definitely stall from AHD with a Coon, which again, just this particular Coon, another very stally classic poke against, I'm not as sure, it looks like a special offense from Kael or some kind of like Calm Mind Pass or Calm Mind Spam. Those are hidden power grasses being flung from Kael on what is clearly an offensive Coon. So we definitely have a contrast of archetypes here. Some kind of special offense, possibly with Baton Pass shenanigans for Kael against the clear stall team here for AHD. And there's the Roar, prompting out Celebi. The Coon seems difficult for Kael. He hasn't really found a good answer this whole time, but he gets out of the way despite the presence of all those boosts. He's really worried about being able to break through the Celebi. Toxic connecting with Zapdos is good. I think it's extremely unlikely that this is a rest Zapdos from Kael. It could be, but okay, there's BP. So, I mean, you've got to think that almost certainly it is not a rester. It just doesn't make sense on the team. It's clearly an offensive team from Kael. So I like the contrast of styles here. It's cool to see two different kinds of teams, just kind of strategy versus anti-strategy in action here. And we'll see who comes out on top. We might be looking at a Super Celebi here. We've seen Calm Mind Giga Psychic, not the last move, which very well may be simply HP Fire, which makes it a little bit interesting that the boosted Coon didn't stay in against it earlier. He might have been afraid that it is a different kind of Celebi than what it actually was, but I think a lot of players would have rolled the dice and stayed in there since you have such a big boost advantage. But the full team, after showing the Rachi and the doll, does get revealed. Unfortunately, AHD did allow his Salamence to get clipped by Ice Beam. He must have known it's an offensive Coon. I mean, he saw the HP grasses earlier. It should have been very clear that it's an offensive Coon. So I think he simply thought something other than Ice Beam, whether it's Calm Mind or whatever, would have come down on that turn, and he simply predicted incorrectly, and Kael sniped him out. But that is going to leave a Hero's Destiny behind. Kael does have the advantage, and very importantly as well, even though AHD probably can make some predictions here, half of Kael's team is not even revealed. and it's only going to go from bad to worse, it seems, for AHD. He's going to get immediately Giga Drain crit on the Coon, 62% and gone, and that's going to leave him in a rough spot. A Hero's Destiny does not have a lot of options at this point. He's going to go for the Desperation Calm Mind War right behind the Celebi and just try to be the guy who gets the crit. Calm Mind Wars suck. It's hard to switch out of. They're both committed to it at this point, so you can't exactly, when one of them is fully boosted, be like, I changed my mind. Let me just switch to something else here. They're both committed, and there's just a lot of luck involved. It certainly is going to favor the Celebi here, since it does have the super effective move in the HP Fire, whereas this Jirachi does not have the very common Fire Punch that it often has, and doesn't have Ice Punch either. Best thing he can do is Psychics. This is looking pretty poor. He actually has Water Pulse here. What a funky move. And he gets a crit, which is spiffy, does some damage on the Celebi, but he does not find the confusion from Water Pulse. What a weird move. He is going to be wishing in this situation that he had the way more common Fire Punch, but he does not, and he is losing handily to this Celebi right now as the barrage of Hidden Power Fires continues. Now, Rachi does have Recovery and Wish, whereas Celebi in this situation effectively does not. He does have Giga Drain, but that doesn't help him against the Jirachi at all. But the Celebi is way more offensively dangerous here. Jirachi forced to make multiple defensive maneuvers here, wishing over and over again just to stay alive as the Hidden Power Fire barrage continues, and he has not found a critical hit, but one crit will break this game wide open. In fact, it will end the game. If Hidden Power Fire kills Rachi, the Super Celebi can easily sweep the rest of the team for AHD. It seems like a very difficult Pokemon matchup-wise for him to deal with. The whole team largely crumbles over and dies to it, and we might be done. Hidden Power, ooh, no, he doesn't kill him. If that had knocked him out, we would have been done already, but he does not manage to get the kill. But A Hero's Destiny is just hanging on by the skin of his teeth here. It is not looking promising for him. He is now taking a more offensive approach. Honestly, I'm surprised he didn't Water Pulse there. He's just going to concede. I think on that turn, last turn here, 53, where he went for Psychic, I'm surprised he didn't go for Water Pulse. It felt to me like AHD needed to get some confusion BS in order to win. So I'm sincerely surprised if he's going to run the stupid Water Pulse Jirachi, which I think is a bad set. I want to get that on record. But if he's going to run that, I'm surprised he wasn't more aggressively fishing for confusion. It felt like he would need something like that to get out of this situation. It did not feel like the strategy that he used was really getting him anywhere. It didn't feel like he ever really had a good shot other than a 1 or 2 turn window to find a miracle crit to win this matchup. And this is with Kael the whole time not finding his own crit, whereas he had a bunch of opportunities to just randomly crit Hidden Power Fire and just win the game on the spot. So I don't think that I liked the set or the way that AHD played that, to be honest. I think he needed to Water Pulse and just get there. But that's not the way that it played out, and Kael is going to win this game 1 in pretty one-sided fashion. This very well may have been a 6-0 had it played out to completion. And Kael doesn't even reveal half his team. So hopefully AHD is able to put this game behind him, not go on tilt, realize that this game's over, nothing you can do, doesn't matter now, can still win the next 2 games. And indeed, that's what he's going to need to do, or Kael is going to knock him out, and it's going to be Kael against Bush Tush in the round of 4 in the Pokemon Perfect 2020 ADV Championship. But let's get to game 2 and see what happens. Both players are going to be in the same position. A Hero's Destiny on the bottom, AHD, and Kael on whatever this nonsense blah, 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 alt is on the top. So, AHD and Cloyster versus Skarm is the lead here. Kael likes this more than anybody else that I know. I am not a lead Cloyster fan at all. It has bad matchups against almost all the common leads. T-Tar beats it, Zapdos beats it, Metagross beats it. Not a fan of the lead Cloyster whatsoever, but I've seen Kael run this many times, both on ladder and in tournament play. He's a fan of this strategy. I am not, but let's see how it plays out. They're both spiking up massively. Cloyster took a nap. We have a 3-2 spike situation. Misdreavus coming in for Kael. So we are possibly in for a grind here. We've got stall on stall in the worst way. We've got the Skarm Doll again coming from AHD, so very stally, and we've got a Mystery Voss on the other side doing some mean look Perish Trap shenanigans. And this might net a kill right out the gate. This could be a very good start for Kael and a very bad start for AHD. Flips the coin on the 50-50 protect. Does not find it, but it doesn't matter. This Rachi about to die, and there's nothing it could find. Even a crit here would not do anywhere near enough against Blissey, and the cheese is going to work. Down goes the Jirachi to the Mystery Voss BS, and this game is already, wow. I said we might be in for a grind, and by that I meant we're in for 13 turns. AHD, clearly tilty, clearly displeased, is just going to concede. Kael is going to bulldoze him over here, and AHD is going to go out in brutal fashion. This game a disaster for him. His Dugtrio follow-up instantly sniped down by the Bliss with the aid of the 3 layers of spikes, and more importantly, and I'm sure even more tilt-inducingly, the Mystery Voss shenanigans with the mean look Perish Trap surprise catches and kills the Rachi with very little response. Sometimes surprise value wins tournament games. This is one of those examples. This is a one-sided set in which Kael walks all over a hero's destiny. And that is going to book him a date with Bush Tush. Our top 4, it's going to be Linear against Asta and a very hyped up feature match on one side of the bracket. And on the other side, it's going to be Bush Tush against Kael. Can't wait to see how that all plays out. You know you're going to see it on YouTube, but if you enjoy this content, thumbs up, and I will see you guys there.